genius of rock and roll. Well, hello, and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris Mallard. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's Friday. We finally made it to Friday. Yay! We're going to talk about stuff. All kinds of stuff, and talk to the people, of course. Zach, it's not an appeal to authority. It could be wrong. Yes, it literally is. Whenever you go, Bart Ehrman says this, that's an appeal to an authority. You should go look that up. Anyway, let's not get that started yet. Good morning, everyone. We're going to have some fun and talk about things. We'll be back in just a minute.
Life is complicated. These are trying times. There are many questions that need answering. Want to know what's going to help? Atheism. With atheism, you'll get rid of dogma, superstitions, and toxic thought patterns that are holding you back. You can drive while taking atheism, as well as use heavy machinery. In fact, drinking alcohol, fornicating, and Sunday mornings are far more enjoyable with atheism. However, there are side effects. Some evangelicals and fundamentalists will think you are possessed by the devil. But you don't have to worry, because you know the devil isn't real. Just like God. Wake up to your life. Believe in yourself. Believe in science. Atheism.
All right. Good morning, John. Man, you're awesome. That's fun stuff. You know, I do want to mention, however, to Zach, yeah, I can acknowledge that Christianity has done some good things. Can't say it hasn't. I'm not saying all it has done is bad. I'm not saying that at all. I do want to say that Christians often try to take credit for things that they didn't have anything to do with, or that they actively tried to suppress. Stuff like that, you know, because Christianity in itself, I mean, we had all kinds of things. The Spanish Inquisition, there was the Dark Ages where science was suppressed, stuff like that. It wasn't just because of that was really, there was a lot more to it than that. But now, also during that time, man, it was pretty rough over in Europe. Man, it was rough. The Roman Empire had collapsed, all this stuff, and kind of one of the few safe places you could go to was a church. Got to give you some credit. Yeah, can't deny it all. Can't say it's all bad. Right? The gay had a nice, safe place to live. How many of them got raped in the churches by the priests? See, there's a good and bad side to all of this. Good morning, Zarcross. Thank you for joining me this morning. John, Hypatia Stanhope, good morning. Thank you for joining us, Miss Non Sequitur. I hope your thing went good the other day. Your Discord chat, did it go okay on your Wednesday visitations? Let's see here. Just kind of curious. Hope everything went okay. I hope it's growing a little bit. I have got my Shakespeare Festival stuff is coming up very soon, so I'm going to start working on my lines. I've been working on my lines, learning my stuff. Oh, that's hot. And I'm also working on this series we've been talking about here on the show about how Jesus, the lie of Jesus. There's this huge overall lie of Jesus. Oh, I still have the faith fails things up there. Yeah, that's not it. That's not what it should be. About this whole deal about Jesus being a lie, and right from the very beginning, that's what we got caught up with. The guy I cut out that show, the clip, you know, from that Christian caller the other day who was going to give us evidence, and he kept trying to throw Tacitus at it. I was like, man, geez, people. Collapsitalism says, good morning for $5. Have fun today. Christians still haven't provided evidence yet. I know it. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, that's one of the things, man. It just, I don't know if you saw the video. The guy wanted to talk to me. He was indignant in the chat, wanted to talk. So I turned on the phone just for him. Call in. He's got proof for me, or wanted to know why I said Jesus may not have existed. I said, well, this is why he may not have existed. There was no contemporary evidence. What about Tacitus? Well, Tacitus wasn't born for 60 years after Jesus, so that's not contemporary evidence. And he just kept throwing Tacitus at us and Tacitus at us and Tacitus at us and Tacitus at us. That's not evidence. It wasn't evidence the first time he presented it. It wasn't evidence the last time he presented it. Ozzy Kaler, good morning, Ozzy. What a cool name, you know. Kill your brother, kill your father, kick your dog in the head. Do none of those things. I'm just saying. Good morning, Ozzy says, I don't understand how people believe in God, but then again, people still believe in Trump. So clearly people believe in anything, no matter the facts placed in front of them. That is so well said. That's like a haiku, a poem. I should tattoo on that my body somewhere. A thigh tattoo or something. That's I'm getting misty. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Good morning, Ozzy. Thank you for joining me this morning. Kinsey, good morning, Kinsey. Happy Friday before Easter. Isn't this the day that Jesus got snatched up on a cross? Is this the day? This is the day, right? It's supposed to be the Friday that it happened. Yeah. I have my doubts. I'm just a doubter. I'm not a Thomas, but I do doubt. I have my doubts. Collapsalism also pretty dope is that Bondi's stupid ass got fired now to take these other warmongering Christian pedo protectors. I like it. I like that she got fired. The problem is, I mean, she got fired not by somebody who cares about justice or making things right. She got fired by somebody who's going to put somebody else in there just like her, who's going to do exactly what she has done to continue to hide the Epstein files. I feel, unless I'm wrong and somebody else fired her, but I'm pretty sure Trump did it, right? And he's just going to put somebody in there that's going to be even more, you know, more of a bootlicker to Trump. Now, what happens to Pam Bondi? What life does she get to live for the next year or so before the new Nuremberg trials start? I don't know. My understanding is she's gone into the private sector. Will she move off the base that she's living on for her protection because she's such a fucking fascist Nazi lapdog that she's gotten some death threats? I don't know. You know, I don't know. Maybe she probably got enough money after helping build the United States for trillions of dollars. She's probably got enough money to afford some pretty decent security, I would guess. Good morning, Rational Poet Jackie. Hi, goddess. Good morning, Ryan. Thank you for joining us. As you can, of course. Busy people. The problem is he's still alive. Yeah, you know, I have mixed feelings. Yeah, I have mixed feelings. Of course, naturally, as with many of us, I would, you know, feel a great weight was lifted off the world were he to suddenly, you know, die. But I gotta say, I don't want that. I don't want that. I mean, I'm not afraid of saying that I would. I would take it as an alternative. I would accept it. Yes, okay, fine. What I would ideally like to see, I would like to see Donald Trump pulled out of office, tried, thrown in prison, and spend probably a good 8 or 9 years in prison without his hair taken care of, without his makeup and all that stuff, and just you know, without his Twitter, without his following, without all that business, and just watch him sit there as all of his horrific deeds are exposed for the entire world to see, and he lives in shame, horrific levels of shame, then dies. It ideally be like, you know, maybe for some sort of event, you know, they're finally going to interview him, and it would be like on live TV, because that's the way he wanted to go, right? But he needs to find some justice. There needs to be some justice for this man, some kind of justice anyway, as best as we could get. Yeah, he would literally melt into a puddle of chemicals. He would. Where would he be without his Adderall? I mean, where would I be without my Adderall? I remember we were joking about that. I was like, we were teasing that he was snorting Adderall before he went up and debated Joe Biden. I was like, man, I have never seen this guy keep a straight thought in his head before, and yet here he is today. Yeah, anyway. Good morning, Anani. Thank you for joining us. Flockmeister, man, it's good to see you this morning. Thank you all. Let's see, he would, yes, melt into the thing. Put Jackie, just making sure everybody's doing okay this morning. So, there we go. Oh, yes. Yes. So do you guys have anything planned for this weekend? Any sinning to be done? Atheist Mechanic, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I've got some planning to do. Of course, like I said, I'm doing the Shakespeare Festival, working on the lines for that. I've been studying some day trading, and I'm probably going to work my buns off on that a lot all weekend. Myself, Miss Non Sequitur got a new tattoo yesterday. Really? Picture didn't happen. We know how you atheists are. We don't believe you unless you got a picture. Did you get to see the shuttle launch? Ozzy, he would really. Oh, did the shuttle launch? Which one? The one that blew up? I saw the one that blew up. I saw both of them that blew up, actually. I saw the first one that blew up. I was playing hooky and was watching it at home. 12 or 11. Something like that. Anyway. Let's see. Lancelot Clockblocker, Challenger, indeed. Good morning. Artemis 2. Oh, no. Ha, ha. No, I did not. No, I obviously knew that's what you meant. I knew that was what you meant. I knew. I did not think you were calling me old. I did not think that was a reference that you were trying to. Yeah, I did not. I knew that's what you were talking about. Oh, shit. Artemis. Yeah. Thank you, Rational Poet Jackie. All right, so I am way out of step here. Just remind me, if you will. They're not going to land on the moon, right? They're just going to go around it to the other side of it, if I believe. Can we do Challenger jokes here? Yeah. You know, man, I remember the Challenger jokes. I do. Oh, my goodness. You know, about one blew that way and one blew that way. And I remember the Challenger jokes. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough as a kid. You know, I got to be honest. You know, I was a kid. That's like by the time the Challenger jokes were going around, it happened in 86, I think. Probably 88, 90, somewhere in there. And we just viewed things differently back then. I mean, I don't know. Just different. Not that it was better. Okay, damn, showing everyone else. I changed my profile pic to show the note. Oh, I see it. I see the picture. Oh, okay. I see how you are. That's awesome, Miss Aaron. Look at that. Go to channel. Let's see. I want to see if I can bring up the picture. See it all biggie. There it is. That's fancy. I dig it. Is that it's really still small. Is that a Grinch? It is terribly small on my thingy. Is it a Grinch? I can blow it up. I can't blow it up. Anyway, I'll worry about it later. It's cool though. Thank you for sharing that with us. How did they know Kristen McAuliffe had dandruff? How'd they know? Oh shit. Lancelot. Oh, Johnny Snowbird, douche tits, doucheitis. I see doucheitis. Well, Johnny Snowbird, I think you can get like a cream that'll clear that up. Be okay. You might see a doctor about it. Probably comes from too much masturbation. You know, I'm just guessing. Rational Poet Jackie wants the punchline. You know, And it came in just before she asked for it. That's why you're going to hell, Lancelot. My mom is dragging me to her church, the one from when I was a kid, because my cousin lives around there, and he's hosting Easter, so I'm going to wear my Let's Summon Demons outfit. Awesome, kid. You know, that's one way to get out of it. I mean, they may not want you to go if you demonstrate your eagerness to go. Kif Webb, what a cool name. Good morning, Kif. Hey, that's a cool picture. Let me look at your picture, Kif. You kind of look elderly like myself. We got one like you over here, John. He ain't right in the head, though. John's not right in the head. Oh, shit. He's cool. Let me see. Can I get your picture? I'm an old man. Give me a break. I'm doing all this stuff on my own. Whoa, don't hide him on the channel. Don't do that. Go to channel. Oh, hey, yeah, look at you. Good morning, Kif. I hope everything's going great. It's good to see another gray beard. I don't know which side you're on. You know, you just kicked in the door, so we'll see in a minute. But, man, it's good to meet you. One more. Kelly Shear. Good morning, Kelly Shear. Lancelot, you're killing me here. Yes. Odie says, at least we Christians approve the launching of shuttler to explore the moon. So thank us. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm glad you Christians did that. Thank you so much. Oh my, where would we be without Christians helping us get to the moon? Was it the prayer? Did you do all the praying? Was that what it was? The praying that got the thing to the moon? You know, Christians have been very anti-science. They've held back science a lot, Odie. You know that, right? I mean, not all. They've had their moments. Some of them in there. I mean, there's a lot of Christianity kind of has covered the entirety of Europe and North America. So it's kind of hard to blame everybody under that umbrella. But there have been good people and bad people. Faith that thing would fly. Faith that the thing would fly. You know, faith is actually a bad thing. Faith is a bad thing. Where did my thing go here? They called it the Dark Ages. Yeah, they did. Why did NASA change the soda machines? Because they couldn't get 7-Up. Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't even get that one. I got all the way through it before. What was the last thing that went through Christian? That's fucked up. Anyway, good morning, Kelly Shear. I hope you're doing great. Civilized individuals. Kelly Laughlin is here. We got a couple of Kellys here. Right-handed Sith, left-handed Jedi. Man, the Force there's balance in the Force. Kip Webb says, hi, Chris. Hope you're having a great Friday. Staunch Atheist here. Excellent. Welcome to the damnation, fellow burner. Caught a few of your recent lives. Becoming a new fan. Keep fighting the good fight. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Doing what we can, trying to get it there. We got some jokes in the chat. You know, normally the chat's got a lot of debate, Christian, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's got some jokes going on this morning. I hope you're enjoying. A lot of you guys are just going to hell, and I can see why now. You get up there to St. Peter and be like, it was just a joke. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that. It was just a joke. The Artemis had problems with Windows Outlook software. I wouldn't be surprised if they're sending it up there with XP. Wouldn't surprise me at all. You know, the next time you go to a bank and you see that they're still running on Windows XP, stuff like that, you know, just Windows 95. Yeah, Windows 95. You know, if you've ever seen Firefly, you watch Firefly, there's this episode where they have to go get this trash can, a thing, reprogram this trash can that's floating up in the sky. And Kaylee's up there trying to reprogram this thing, and you can see the computer screen. I'm pretty sure it's Windows 2000 or Windows. It was one of those early version of Windows. So I guess Josh Whedon predicted that several hundred years in the future, they'll still be using those programs. Damn it, right-handed Sith. You know, I guess it's been long enough. We're all going to burn Brennan Hill, says Rational Poet Jackie. True enough. The squirrel. All right, John Hudson. Lisa, I've seen a couple of new faces here. So it's been, you have to go do the thing. Later, Ozzy. Take care. Send safely, my friend. Hope you have a great weekend. Odie is saying, we Christians protected your freedom of speech, so worship us, since you guys love worshiping creations, not gods. So start worshiping Christians. Man, it's like, Odie, I appreciate your effort. I mean, you really put a lot of dedication, will. You've got to put some thought power into this. There's some brain cells seriously at work here, trying to figure out new ways to say stupid shit. Do you just sit around and go, man, what stupid fucking things can I say today? What's the most ridiculous ass backwards? Let me go say that on the show. I'm just saying. Christians. Yeah, no, I don't think that's the case. I think, in fact, they probably actually have suppressed our rights on many occasions in many ways over time. Yeah. Ooh, the True Few. Good morning, the True Few. That's an interesting image. I guess that's a Y for Yeshua, maybe? Is that what that is? Christians protected free speech? No, they did not. No, Christians don't really, I mean, and see, here's the thinking. The fact that you say that, Odie, exposes your ignorance to the reality of history and all that business and of Christianity. I mean, anybody who knows history and about Christianity is going to look at that person saying these most ignorant things. That's you, by the way. Where's Ryan? Ryan could scold us. Ryan is actually in the chat. She's not here on Fridays. She has to go do evil and blaspheming somewhere else on Fridays. Mondays and Thursdays are the days she's with us. And Storm Castle Anthrax. The Bible is a fictional book based on fictional characters believed by gullible, weak-minded fools. Hashtag truth. I'm going to get that tattooed right here around my nipple. Ryan is fantastic. Ryan is wonderful. Her schedule has changed, and she, like I said, is only going to be with us for Mondays and Thursdays. And she probably could use a break from like do stuff. She's just been a very, very busy person. So if she wanted to take a break or whatever, it wouldn't surprise me at all. She's been coming on the show for a year and a half. She's just been fantastic. In fact, anybody comes, it's just, I appreciate it. Yeah, Kiff says I better behave myself. Well, Kiff, it depends, there's a lot of mods for a couple of reasons. One is that I have a lot of friends who are content creators, and usually they're given kind of a mod level so they can post links. And they kind of know about how to moderate a channel because they usually have that going on themselves. And I have other mods who do moderate, but they're usually pretty cool. So I think you'd be all right. I don't know. We'll find out, of course. But you'll get a warning. You'll know, brother. You'll know. Yeah. And in fact, very few of them can actually remove you from the channel. I think only 2 or 3 can. Most of them could just mute you. So, chill. Yeah, enjoy. You're awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Millionaire Playboy. Sex Mod says, how the God of love felt after commanding ancient Israelites in Deuteronomy 20:16-17 to kill the inhabitants, including children, to establish the Holy Land. That is fantastic. I really appreciate that. Elvis is dead. Jesus is living, says Ben Potmeyer. I guess you haven't seen the news. Jesus is not. He never came back. He's dead. Fun for the whole family, though. What makes you think? Oh yeah, thank you for that. Actually, to be honest, I'm working on a video. I've already got one video about how Jesus was not sacrificed for you. I go off on this shit all the time. But I'm working on a better, updated, more in-depth video with so many different ways to show you from so many different angles that, man, this wasn't a sacrifice. There was no, and even if it really was, it's just disgusting. Look at this. This is why it's disgusting. You wouldn't accept it in modern times. You'd be like, oh my God, this is just stupid. It's like this sort of right now. Just imagine right now they were to go down and they were to take some innocent, let's just say innocent kid, and take them down in front of everybody on TV, and they're going to execute that child, kid, teen, person. I say kid, it could be a person, a man, a grown up. It's got to be somebody pure and innocent, nice person. But by doing so, you will no longer have debt. All your debt is gone. Everybody's debt is all gone. Does that justify it? Does that make it okay? Why couldn't the people who have the debt, who got rid of the debt just because the kid died, why couldn't they get rid of the debt without having the kid die? And we would think it's disgusting today. Christians would rally, think, oh my God, I can't believe you're going to kill somebody for that. But no, they really have a weird way of thinking, don't they? Let's see. Ben Potmeyer says, what's going to save? How's God save us from what, by the way? You're not, I don't, man, the chat goes by fast. You may not be talking about us. No one can remove anyone from chat. They always make a new account. Oh yeah, they can. And they can keep doing that. We actually will keep kicking them. It's fun. Give it a shot. We'll find out how it works. But it's really kind of a waste of time when you could just, chat. Hunger Games with only one participant. Yeah, I guess so. That's right. Yeah, that's funny. Sorry, give me a moment. Okay, back on point, man. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy are all good friends with Jesus. Ain't that the damn truth? Secular feelingness is here. Let's see. That's the whole deal. We're talking about this whole debt. Let's see. Look at the debt. Believe in Jesus. What Jesus took the debt. What debt did he take? I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't even born then. You're talking about the debt from the original sin from the Old Testament, but you don't like the Old Testament. The Old Testament is where the God creature that you worship kills children. It murders children. It commands its followers to murder children. It sells its followers into slavery. It teaches its followers how to train its slaves. And then in the New Testament, it doesn't discount slavery. It actually says, go obey your masters. You don't like those verses of the Old Testament, but you like that first part that says some sort of original sin. You like the 10 Commandments. Well, what other parts do you want to pick and choose out of the Old Testament? And really, let's see, slaves suffered more on the cross than Jesus. That's a good point. Imagine being a slave, a chattel slave your entire life. Well, Jesus had a bad weekend. Most of his life he lived and he wandered around living off other people. Go read the books. He's pretty much just mooched off of people from here to here to here to here to here. Time traveling debt, Chris, your sin so bad it breaks causality. Man, that would be crazy. Yeah, that's the whole deal. But now let's kind of take that further. Well, can we take that little analogy we made a few minutes ago about the kid further? Let's take that further. So now, it's not that they're going to wipe out all of your money debt. You're still going to have all your money debt. But when you die, you're not going to have any money debt. We're going to kill this kid, this person downtown Washington, D.C. We're going to beat him with whips. We're going to stab him and all this other stuff. And when we're done, we're not going to remove you all your financial debt in this world. Like I said earlier, you're like, oh man, all the people of the world losing their financial debt. Maybe one life might be worth it. Let's just change the stakes just a little bit and push that death that is removed from the people, the debt, push it to the afterlife. Now, they won't have any debt in the afterlife. None. Is it okay then to kill that kid, that person? Is it not disgusting? Why is it not disgusting then, Christians? Why is it not? You're just going to take somebody's word for it. You have no proof that this is true. You're just literally taking someone's word for it, that this person did this thing for this reason. Why? Was there no other way to forgive your sins? Is that true? There was no other way to forgive your sins? Your sins had to require blood? What is that? It sounds like ancient Hebrew blood magic to me, doesn't it? Think about it, Christians. Think about it. You'll get there. It really is. It really is. It's a matter of the old Hebrews used to cast their sins on a goat and then flush the goat out into the desert to die, and their sins are gone. Same thing. They would take a dove and kill a dove or a goat and sacrifice it on the altar and as a burnt offering to absolve themselves of their sin. God loves the smell of burning flesh. Go find out for yourself. Jesus is exactly that. Jesus is an ancient Hebrew blood magic to get rid of your sins. That's what I do. Yeah. You believe it, despite all the evidence, despite all the ignorance that you see by other Christians. You see other Christians and other believers. You're like, man, that's just stupid. But you just can't see that in your own faith. You can look at a Muslim and you can go, wow, this guy, I guess right now there's maybe a school of mysticism around Muhammad that maybe he didn't exist possibly, but most people, I think, and I could be wrong, agree that he actually really existed. There's contemporary work that talks about him and all this other business. Jesus doesn't even have that. So why don't you believe in Muhammad? You just believe what somebody told you. And the way you look at Islam and Judaism, that's you. That's you. You're one of those. When you go, this person's a fool and they don't know what they're doing, that's you. You're just one of the trifecta of fools. You're in the full trifecta of Christianity. You've been lied to. And the lie, oh my goodness, the lie is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's stupid start to finish. Jesus, I mean, why did God have to kill Jesus? Why did God have to sacrifice his own son? Child sacrifice. Why did he have to do that? Why couldn't he just absolve us of our sins without that price being paid? Is there a God above him that's like, no, you cannot forgive their sin. No, not unless you get blood first. Is that the case? Why couldn't your God just absolve those sins without that? It's not like it's a merciful God, a loving God, a peaceful God, is it? No. Why wasn't it sacrificed? Why didn't it ask to be sacrificed? Honey and flowers and beautiful things that spread love and joy and all that stuff. Why didn't it ask for those things? Why whenever it said, you're dirty, you're filthy, does it heap more dirt and more filth upon you to wipe you clean? That doesn't make sense. So you're bad. You hurt people. You don't listen to things. So I'm going to kill my own kid. It's fucking stupid because you're not doing what I want you to do. Interesting stuff. I'm going to go load up my coffee and I'm going to play a little fun commercial. I hope you guys like them. Let's see. We haven't done Wild Bill in a while. You know what? We got Kiff here. Kiff may enjoy Wild Bill. He may actually, there is a resemblance, in fact, if Kiff is still here. Yeah, let's see. All right, check out Wild Bill. We'll be back in a minute.
Hello, and welcome to Shakespeare with a Redneck. What the? I am Wild Bill Wigglestick, and I'll be your handsome host, your gilded guide, your cowboy concierge of Shakespeare. Dude, really? Today on Shakespeare with a Redneck, I'm going to perform the prologue from Romeo and Juliet. Damn it, Bill. Two households, both alike in dignity in fair Verona, where we lay our scene. From ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured piteous overthrows doth with their death bury their parents' strife. The fearful passage of their death-marked love and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic of our stage, the which if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. Hey, that wasn't half bad. I'm not as dumb as I look. Of course not. You'd be in a coma. Okay, so here's a quick rundown of the situation. Bill, two snot-nosed brats ignore the warnings of their learned parents and end up getting 4 people killed. Bill, come on, man, you're always blah, blah, atheist stuff, blah, blah, boring. Say something fun, for goodness sake. What? Particle is a fun word. Bill, particle. Bill, or talk about horses and dogs. People love horses and dogs. Or boobies. Everybody loves boobies. Bill, oh, can I say boobies on YouTube? If you close your eyes, it doesn't count. Talk about boobies then. Okay, everybody loves those cute little blue-footed bastards. It hurts right here. Culture, baby, coming at you. Avoid bringing a plague on both your houses. A plague on both your houses! By hitting that subscribe button, then that little notification bell. And bang that thumbs up button like frisky cousins at a family reunion. Thank you and take care.
Peace. All right, we are back. X before Y and Z, good morning. Interesting name. Says, I love how Christians depict Jesus as white ASF man from the Middle East. I know, right? I have a video on it, how for some reason they patterned their Jesus Christ after Cesare Borgia. Interesting stuff. Actually, they probably really didn't. Maybe after a little bit, but not originally. It probably developed that way. But Odie's talking just stupid stuff again. Odie is claiming, one of the things is you can't say things You just be yourself, Odie. You do what you got to do. Cheryl is here. Good morning, Cheryl. My deconstructed heart is warmed by you, especially today. Well, thank you. I'm wearing my Darkwing Duck shirt for you. And anybody else who likes Darkwing Duck. This was the start of one of the churchiest weekends of the year for me growing up, beginning today with the damn show is 100%. Hell yeah. I actually forgot it was that time. I forgot it was Easter. I forgot. I've been a little bit removed. Let's see. Ooh, Ron Lother. Is that right? Good morning, Ron Lother. Thank you for joining us. Interesting. I don't think I recognize that name. Good morning, Ron. Thank you for joining us. So let's see what we've got here going on. Darkwing Duck. I know, Kelly. Are you a Darkwing Duck fan? Y'all, any of you old enough to remember Darkwing Duck? Darkwing Duck. Good morning, Coffee Town Atheist. Thank you for being here today. Spherence, what a cool name. All gods remain a repeatable lie. Unethical. Oh, man, that's awesome. Complaints about tyranny. The divine right of kings was a thing. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, see, even my friends in the chat realize that every time Odie says something, it's almost always backwards. It's backwards. Just he at some point. Never mind. Shut up, Chris. So XYZ, and then Six Buzz says, "What is Jesus's favorite Easter egg?" Man, I didn't see the response for that. I pinned it so I could see the question. I have not seen the answer, Six Buzz. So I may have missed it, man. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Spherence says, "All gods remain a repeated lie. Unethical." I agree. That's one of my things I'm talking about here to my fellow Christians and my Christian friends here in the chat is that, man, you guys, you're so close to seeing the truth. You're this close to seeing the truth. Faith is not a strength. Faith is not a good thing. Faith is... the damn show, the Disney Afternoon. Good morning. Faith is bad. It's just people. So many people have been harmed by having faith rather than doing something. So there are those kind of things. Faith is just bad. You should not put your trust in faith. Shane Billowitz. Good morning. Hey, Shane. And see, but one of the things is that's why they try to sell you on the faith. There's two things they try to sell you. One is the faith, and the other is that people won't believe you. Here it is. Let me write this down. The faith and belief. Okay, so one of them is faith. So you got to have faith, because if you don't have faith, right, you got to have faith. Here's what it is. I'll break it down for you. Faith. Sorry, guys. I got to write shit down or I won't believe them. All right, so you got to have faith. Because that's why they tell you this. Because here's the deal. The story is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous and stupid that if you don't have faith, you're not going to believe it. There's no way to believe this shit without faith. It's really just going, trust me. Trust me. The preacher, the priest who helped raise you to you're going on his words in the book. That's it. Faith. Faith is something. Oh, anytime you doubt, it's like you got to have faith. It's not a good thing. It leads you astray from reality. And then the second thing is belief. They tell you other people will not believe. People won't get it. People are not going to get this. Only the fool says in his heart there is no God, right? Or some business like that. They'll tell you that Jesus spoke in parables so people who were not believers didn't understand. Stuff like that. The reason, again, it's the exact same reason why they do this. They tell you that other people are not going to believe this because it's just stupid. It's crazy, and they know it's stupid. They know it's crazy, and they know people out there are going to be going, "Hey, man, that's some stupid, crazy stuff over there." And they're kind of countering that ahead of time. They're telling you that ahead of time because they know people are going to tell you how stupid this religion is. They're trying to sell you. Now, all of you, everyone here has almost certainly heard gave himself to himself, sacrificed himself to himself so he could save us from himself or some of that business, right? We've all kind of heard that thing. But really, Yeah, that's essentially it. If God is God, if Jesus is God, then Jesus sacrificed himself. God killed himself. That's just stupid. It's a horrific story. Again, it's really just ancient Hebrew blood magic converted over to, they got tired of killing goats and sacrificing goats and sheep and doves and stuff like that. They got tired of doing that. So they sacrificed a man, the ultimate sacrifice. And now you don't have to sacrifice goats and sheep no more. That's part one. Part two, before that, whenever you made a covenant with God, you had to circumcise yourself. You had to get circumcised. You didn't have to do it yourself, especially the babies. That'd have been awkward. But you had to get circumcised. With the new covenant, you don't have to get circumcised. You don't have to get circumcised. You don't have to get circumcised with the new covenant of God, with Christianity, and you don't have to kill animals anymore. So Jesus is the savior of the goats and of the foreskins. But us, we still have to do things. The foreskin doesn't have to do anything to be left on the penis. It just has to be somebody who's not a Jew. A Christian can keep their foreskin. So those are the things that you lose when you leave the early religion. You get to keep your foreskin. So there's that. And you no longer have to kill goats and doves and stuff like that. These are the differences. Let me see here. Kelly Lofton. Oh, VH5150. Good morning. It's been a day or three. I think you've been hiding off doing stuff. Sending about the world. It's nice to see you again. Hope everything's going great. Garland Garrett. Good morning. We have heard it all. Which part? From which side? Both sides. Oh, yeah. You're talking. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There really is a thing whenever you stop and think about it. About the whole, earlier I talked about how Jesus has forgiven your sins, or you can't get your sins forgiven. I mean, I think it's just really vulgar. It's vulgar that in order to get out of paying some kind of price, somebody else has to be hurt, violated. Why does that even make sense? Whatever happened to, what you've done wrong, do something right to make up for it? Does that kind of make sense? You've done wrong, right your ship, be a better person. That sounds like a better deal than I'm going to kill my kid. You've made me mad, now I'm going to go kill my kid. Some would also castrate themselves for the religion, and that is supposedly helping their reproductive doctrine. Listen, if they're willing to castrate themselves for a God they believe in, I fully support them not breeding. Yes, I think that's probably a wise thing. And if they want to get castrated, I probably have some money, some loose change around. I would be willing to throw for the cause. I'm just saying. Secular for Dragons Marine, walk a mole for a camel. That's a good one. Who did that? Who did that to me? Dragons Marine? That was a good one. That was cute. I dig it. Did Jesus know E.T.? Jesus actually would be E.T. I guess he would be half E.T., wouldn't he? Jesus is a half alien. I gave up one of my eyelids for my circumcision, according to the testimonials. You know what? I tell you what. At the top of the hour, I'm going to play the second Wild Bill. But for you guys, since you're awesome and since we're talking about it, I'll go ahead and, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'll play the Foreskin Restoration kit. We have products. Father Flanagan's got products.
Were you circumcised at birth? Or did you change your faith for a woman and now she's gone? Or did your sister's lockjaw flare up at the worst possible time?
Guilty as charged.
Well, fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of at-home foreskin restoration kits. It won't cost you an arm and a leg, just an eyelid. Testimonials are already coming in. Mike from Dallas, Texas writes, "Ever since I got my penis caught in the blender, I haven't felt like a real man, but now I'm back and intact. Thank you, Father Flanagan." Steve from Florida says, I didn't really want my foreskin back, but my wife insisted. We did it, and, well, you should see the look on her face. King Kelly writes, wow, getting my foreskin back literally doubled my length. After all these years, I can finally hold my heads high. Thank you, Father Flanagan. Father Flanagan's at-home foreskin restoration kits are part of our Tips for Tots and Adults community outreach program. Free eye patch and eye mister with each purchase. You can tell just by the look on his face whether he's packing or he's lacking. Microsurgery available for those extra small jobs. And in case you have any problems, Father Flanagan's highly trained medical staff are ready and waiting for your call.
Oh my God.
I've never seen so much blood.
Thank you, Father Flanagan.
Thank you, Father Flanagan.
Father Flanagan's line of at-home foreskin restoration kits. Coming to a Walmart near you.
All right. There we go. I just thought I'd show that to you since we were talking about the foreskins. One of our future products we're coming up with is the Instaju line of products. It's a little like a home circumciser. You just kind of pull out the slack and give it a whack. Yes, that's going to be a hot product, I'm sure. I can't wait to see that one. Spherence, all gods remain. Oh, yes, that's true. Good. I guess I should unpin that. Six Buzz says, what's your thoughts on Christopher Hitchens? He was one of the people who helped me with my deconstruction. I watched him do stuff. I was still a Christian. I saw him talking about Jerry Falwell on CNN. I remember his CNN. I was just kind of sitting on the floor in the living room. I don't remember how old I was. I wasn't a kid. I always did that for a long time because shut up, it's weird. But I remember hearing CNN going, all right, we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have famous atheist, whatever, Christopher Hitchens talk to us about the death of Jerry Falwell. I was like, what? Okay, I want to see this. And that was the first time I ever seen it. And he comes out and he talks about Jerry Falwell and he's like, the guy, if you removed all the shit out of him, you could put him in a matchbox, and said something about how he should be, crazy people like him should be down selling pencils out of a cup. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's going to burn in hell forever. But then I started thinking, he was one of the first. I started going back and watching. However, I don't agree with everything politically that Christopher Hitchens went on about. But I also didn't know a lot of things that he went on about. He was a foreign journalist over in the Middle East and Europe for a long time, and he would talk about things over there that I don't know anything about. So I'd have to learn more. But on the atheist part, I dig it. And then Martin Elzen. Good morning, Martin Elzen says, keep on lubing. Indeed. I will. Let's see. You guys became a channel supporter. Thank you very much, Ron Lothar, for becoming a channel supporter. We appreciate you. Kelly Laughlin, I think Hitchens was brilliant. I didn't always agree with his style. Yeah, the whole hitch slap thing, that was there. Let's see. Before you got super spiritual listening to Sam Harris. Sam Harris, I used to like listening to Sam Harris too. I don't know why exactly I stopped. But I heard he did go a little bit to the spiritual way. Bottom Shada on Good Friday though. That's awesome. What a name. What are you doing? Bottom? On Good Friday. What are you doing on Good Friday? Are you sinning and blaspheming? I am eager. I await with bated breath your next communication with us here. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Sam Harris has become Israel's apologist lately. I should have been answered that with Kelly. I gotta say, I've learned a lot about Zionism. Zionist Israel. Israel now is run by the Zionists, which is essentially the MAGA party of Israel. Not all Israelites are bad. They're just the conservative piece of shit party is pretty much unfettered, and they're murdering as they always will. Nazis, fascists from Hitler or from Italy. That's just how they end up. They always end up killing people. Donald Trump killing people. He's killing people, and he's going to continue killing people. It's just going to get worse until he stops. I mean, let's see. Good Friday. Let's see what they say. I don't see them saying. Did you just? I hope you didn't just post that and bounce. We shall see. Okay. Let's see. And what should Kelly? You and Kelly's out there wrestling with somebody. I thought Six Buzz, I don't know. I thought Six Buzz was on our side, kind of. Are you a theist, Six Buzz? Did I misread? I mean, the chat goes by so fast. I wasn't able to see if you were circumcised or not, to see if you were a theist. Okay. Here's the deal. How do you know someone's really serious? When somebody tells you something, how do you know they're really serious? When we watch it in movies, they're like, if you're like an assassin, you want to be an assassin or some business. We've seen this on several shows, not just the John Wick one. They got to cut off a finger. Assassin's Creed, they cut off, I think it's, I don't remember which finger, but Assassin's Creed, they cut off a finger as a demonstration of that this is proof. I mean, you're given flesh for this. That's what the foreskin thing is. That's what it is. I don't believe you. You've got to believe enough and be willing to cut off the end of your penis so I'll know that you really mean what you say. You ever wonder, like, whenever they have their secret meetings back in the day, did they have to show each other their penises to verify that they were actually Jews? I wonder if there was ever actually a real time when somebody has had to demonstrate their Jewness by exposing themselves. I wonder if that's ever been a thing. Let's see. I saw a response from Bottom. I'm a Christian, brother. I try not to sin. Good luck with that. I appreciate your efforts. Carry on. Foreskin sniffers like L. Hey, they don't sniff them. They make necklaces and earrings out of them, but they don't sniff them. That's just yuck. Acme, yes, they did. It's what they did as a handshake. Yeah, that's funny, Acme. Secret handshake. I know. Yeah. It's hilarious. Just real quick, as a thought, what about women? I keep forgetting to go look this up. Women don't have foreskin. They are not circumcised at birth. Even the women that are first circumcised with female circumcision, genital mutilation, I don't think that's a religious thing like the circumcision for boys. I think it's just cultural so much. So what about the girls? Do women never make a covenant with the Lord? I'll have to look that up. I'm sure they've worked their way around something like that. If they did get to make a covenant with the Lord without giving up a piece of their flesh, why couldn't the men give up or have a covenant without? Anyway, later, Bottom. Take care out there. Have a good one. The reason why I said good luck with that, with the whole sinning thing, is because, we just, your God creature can be very finicky, and it thinks a lot of things are sins, and it's a tough road to hoe. So good luck. Yeah, sin safely. Or don't sin at all in your case. Yes, but the rest of us, the rest of you guys sin safely. Rational Poet Jackie, you met Christopher Hitchens? Wow. Oh, Washington, D.C. in about 2007. Okay. All right. Let me check something out. Yeah, Jerry Falwell. He died in 2007. Yeah, okay. Oh, so I was like 35 years old. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't realize I was that old before I finally went balls deep into the anti-religion thing. Question for Ryan for Monday's about women. She might know. Yeah, she's here. She'll be here Monday, I think. Sam Harris and Dawkins are trans films. I've heard of that about Dawkins. I didn't know that about Harris. I don't really even know why these people give a shit, why it's there. I don't know why. Personally, I have no opinion myself. I support my friends in the trans community. From my perspective, they just want to live their lives and have a good life and have fun. And I wish that for everybody, except Nazis. Thank you, Garland Garrett, for becoming a channel supporter. Very much appreciate you. Thank you. And Ron Lother, thank you for becoming a member. I'll update our credits at the end of the show. If you stick around, if you're new, stick around to the end of the show. We also have a second song. Oh, I haven't played you our song, have I? Okay. We got two songs. So at the top of the hour, here in just a minute, we'll play the second Wild Bill. Bottom of the hour of the next hour, we'll play you, should we play them the song? So we'll play you the Pharaoh's Curse song. And then when we close the show, there's an entirely different song. It's goat-scented flesh candles, because we sell goat-scented flesh candles as a product. Ooh, I should play that one instead of the Wild Bill too. It's so much better than the Wild Bill one. Wild Bill's like a thing. Anyway, Paul Rothwell Smith says, "Oh, I'm okay. I was circumcised by accident. A horrible blender accident? Is that what it was? I'm just curious. You guys are right. Good morning, Amber. Thank you for joining us. I just want to mention whenever the stream is over, it'll pop you on over to Amber's stream. So Sam Harris, I did not know Sam Harris was an anti-trans person. Hingle. Good morning, Hingle. Let me see what you got to say here. Hingle says, that's why it's a scam. The instruction manual isn't clear. You can create any form of Christianity you want, interpreting the Bible however you want. Indeed. And then if anybody says, they don't believe because it seems weird, these things are like, that's just crazy. That's too much, man. No, you got to have faith. That's why they say you got to have faith. You got to have faith for that very reason. And then I've also, of course, got to believe. Those people over there don't believe. They think it's craziness. Well, God tells us right here that other people are going to doubt this and think it's crazy. That's what God, because it's crazy. And the people who wrote this shit knew it was crazy, knew people from the outside were going to go, hey, man, that shit's crazy. And they put that in there so people like your pastor could use that to insulate you from the people outside of that influence who wanted to help you and get you out of it. Like Jesus's mom and brother in Mark. They actually went to try to get Jesus and like, man, this shit is crazy, man. You need to get out of here. Come with us. Leave this behind. Jesus' mom and brother thought that about him. And then he does his first whole divide between us and them. Separation between me and you, my people, your people, my family, your family. Whenever they say, come with us, we're your family, he says, no, you're not my family. These people who worship this crazy God creature, they are my family now. Jesus, it's right out the book. Starting Division 8, right out the book. Medgrip, good morning. Moms and brothers are wrong all the time. Cody Danger, there's shit going on in the chat. Ingle, thank you for joining us. Let me move on here, see if I can catch up to some stuff. A lot of stuff. And just wondering, did you get someone to sing the songs or voice act? It's AI. It is an AI. So yeah, we'll play that song. We'll play things. Goat-scented flesh candles next. Then at the bottom of the next hour, the Pharaoh's Curse. And at the end of the show, you'll hear the song from the thing, okay? Didn't realize that atheists have a hierarchy. We have a hierarchy? Son of a bitch. Who do I gotta suck up to? Just let me know. Put it in the comments. The one thing I don't like about Dawkins, didn't know, I didn't know that about Harris. I'm gonna have to kind of... What the hell about Harris? Moms and brothers are wrong all the time, and now you're calling them a coward. Just based on these things, I'm going to guess you might be a Christian. Let me see if I can find Medgrip, what started all this, if I can. But I could be wrong. Let me look. I don't see any previous comments or conversation. Maybe you talking to me. Man, maybe you talking to me. You couldn't even contend with the point that moms and brothers are wrong. What are you talking about? Moms and brothers are wrong. What are you talking about? Be clear. I don't know what you're talking about. I've been kind of ranting, so catch me up on stuff. I'm be a little specific. Oh, you said Jesus' mom and brother didn't like what he said. Oh, I got you. Oh, no. Wait, let me see here something. Let me go back up. So you said moms and brothers can be wrong, and I didn't see that. And then you automatically go to, you couldn't even contend with the point that moms and brothers are wrong. you automatically just assume that I couldn't contend with it. I can. Mothers and brothers can be wrong. They can. Yep. It makes more sense my way, though, doesn't it? Doesn't it actually make sense? We see it in our culture all the time. These cults, there's people who have cults, and you see family trying to get them out of that cult. Whether it's the David Koresh and that cult over there, whether it's the Heaven's Gate cult, yeah, it apparently is historic. It goes back in time to where family members go, man, this shit is crazy. You should stop and come back home. Yeah. I didn't understand the message. I didn't even know you were talking to me at the time. So, yeah. Hi, A Goddess. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you again. Let's see here. It is time for us to do the goat-scented flesh candles commercial, my friend. Now, that's kind of the title of the show. Jesus is the savior of the goats and the foreskin. Before Jesus came along, they had to sacrifice goats and doves and other animals, and they had to give up their foreskin. But with the second covenant, they don't have to do that anymore, and they don't have to give up their foreskin. So that's Jesus anyway. But before that, though, if you didn't have a goat, you were in a bind. What do you do if you still believe that stuff and you don't happen to have a goat handy to sacrifice? Don't worry, my friends. Father Flanagan has something for you.
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh, no. The Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do you do? You're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Come on, Med Grip. I got it right here. You probably don't want to hear it, but Jesus' own family tries to get him to stop his craziness and go home. Mark 3:21. Then in verse 33 and 34, you can go look these up yourself. Jesus begins othering people, creating dividing lines between God followers and people's families. Go look it up for yourself. And then, what's the words you guys used? Some of them come in here and they say these things. Let's see if I can find it. Since you couldn't bother to address my real issue or whatever since you deflected from whatever, I don't know how you say it. As if I saw and was, oh no, I don't want to talk about that. No, fool. I hope you were still here at least to see and go look at the verses yourself so you can rectify yourself of the ignorance that you live in, or at least some of it. Good morning, Philip Lister. Philip Lister's here, but be cool. This dude has got a little beard. He's awesome, man. He's like I can't. Mine gets all fuzzy. I don't know how he takes care of it. I get some beard tips from Philip Lister. Good morning. Let's see what else is going on here. So the goat-scented flesh candles. If you don't happen to have a goat-scented flesh candle, get one, right? Get one soon. Sheep go to heaven, goats go to hell. Well, that's the whole thing. Again, I just kind of want to make that point that, before Jesus, goat sacrifices. After Jesus, no sacrifices. Yeah. Before Jesus, no sacrifices. After, no. However, we, man, still have to do things. We still have to go do things and pray and be good and believe in Jesus or do whatever that each Christian has a different idea of what they have to do to get into heaven. We have to still do those things. I thought the price was paid. I thought it was kind of paid up, but if I'm being done, I saw a new name in the chat. Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad you went there. Thank you for going there. We kind of talk about this on the regular MedGrip, and that Christians will often try to distract from how hideous and disgusting their own religion is by going, try saying that about a Muslim. And then you come in here and prove me right. Carry on. Carry on with yourself. But I appreciate your help. Thank you for that. I actually have quite a thing. I'm studying the New Testament. I've been working on it here. Some people insisted that, well, they suggested I start with Mark, and then there are other places to start. But I have been starting with Mark, and I enjoyed it so far, and that has given me so many things. Just one, I'm only 3 or 4 chapters into it, and I'm like exposing all this stuff about this craziness. It's just, let's see. What did our individual say? Something. I just can't support Big Goat. You can't support Big Goat? I'm sorry, Dragon's Free. Well, you didn't say it proving me right. I didn't say it proving you right. I didn't. I don't. Whatever, man. Whatever. Continue exposing your ignorance in chat. I don't care. Jinx, cool name. Don't cats worship David Lister? They should. If they don't, they should. Do cats worship anybody? I think cats are all about themselves. I'm a dog man myself. Would you guys like to meet some of the well, you shouldn't talk about yourself like that, MedGrip. Self-talk is, what a loser. How many subscribers you got? Are you a priest at a church? How big's your flock? Are you just some ignorant fool who goes into, and clearly you don't know shit about your own Bible. Clearly, the more you speak, the more you expose it. But go ahead. We need the entertainment. This here is Ollie Dog. This is our computer engineer on the show. Everybody loves Ollie. You'll see some emotes come up here in just a moment. If you're a member, you get access to the emotes. Let's see here. I saw a new name. Acme says we worship cats. Encourageable, be nice to this guy. MedGrip, he's having a hard time. I'm having a hard time. That's right. Ooh. Tucson says, Tucson. And then Cute Dog. Thank you. Somebody asked a question. I wanted to see the question. Don't give away the yawns for free. No free puppy yawns for these people. I said no free puppy yawns. Snake Eater, what specifically have you exposed in the books you've been recently reading? Genuinely curious. One of the things that I've been talking about is that one of the things about Christianity is that it causes separation between people, between families, between people who believe and people who don't believe. You're talking about excommunication from churches and all that other business. We meet Jesus in Mark, and Jesus goes through, and at the very end of Mark 3:21, Jesus' family comes and tries to get him to leave. And at that point, Jesus begins this, he himself starts the whole, that's your family. If you're not with me and my religious brothers, you're no longer part of my family. That's harmful. That's really kind of just one thing. But I have only just gotten started. And then there's another thing, man, I gotta say, and I'm not really a big fan of absence of evidence. Evidence of absence is not, you know what I mean? Just because they don't have doesn't mean it's not. But man, I gotta tell you, the first books that we have, writing we have about Jesus is 60 some odd years after Jesus allegedly lived. So come on now, modern Christians are Christians because they care about the Bible. They're not Christians because something like that. Let me go back here. What I miss? I get distracted, guys. lots of chat to read. What specifically? Oh, yeah. Okay, got you. I need to pin that so I don't. Also, Snake Eater, by the way. Nice to meet you, Snake Eater. I actually have a series going. You can go look on my channel. There's a playlist called the Evil God Monster of Abraham series. And it starts with Genesis. And I have to admit I'm lazy and I haven't made more than 15 episodes. But each episode goes through and kind of exposes how crazy and disgusting and vile the God creature of the Bible is. I'm just now getting to the New Testament. I haven't done the New Testament. It's been a long time since I've even read the New Testament. Mark 1, John preached all the people. Mark preached, and all the people from the countryside and all the people of Jerusalem went out to him. Mark 1:4. Yet no one bothered to write that down. Nobody wrote it down. All the people of Jerusalem, everybody. Now, I get it. Not a lot of people in Jerusalem were probably able to write, right? But nobody was able to write. Interesting. And then verse 10 and 11 make it sound as if Jesus was just some guy and had no idea about anything. While being baptized by John, it just says Jesus shows up and is being baptized by John. And whenever he brings Jesus out of the water, the sky opens up and God says, a voice came from the heaven that says, "You are my son, whom I love. With you I am well pleased." Mark, that's the book Mark, telling Jesus, God telling Jesus that he is his son. Not that you're me, not that you're me incarnate. No, you are a separate, different individual from me, and I am pleased with you. That's what happened right there. Over 100 times it calls Jesus the Son of God, or the Son of Man, or all this other business. And Christians really have to try to find that scripture where Jesus says he's actually God. But he doesn't. He really doesn't. Most of the time, he's referred to as the Son of God, or as he identifies himself as the Son of Man. He doesn't identify himself as, but you know why you do that? You know why Christians do that? Because they want to worship Jesus. You want to worship Jesus. And Jesus is not God. Jesus is not God. You want to worship Jesus. You worship Jesus. You pray to Jesus. You love Jesus. You think about Jesus all the time. You don't really think about the old God creature very much, but Jesus is always on your mind. But Jesus is not God. And what did God say about worshiping anyone other than him? Jesus is not God. God says, worship no one other than me. You worship Jesus. So now, in order to get around that, let's elevate Jesus to godhood. And now we get around that whole Jesus is not God there. We get around the whole thing. That's how they make it around that deal. And they are able to worship Jesus now because they've made Jesus God instead of just a prophet for God. I just want to mention, so Christians in the chat, know that what I have said is true. Go read the book yourself. I just gave you the scripture. Mark, Jesus says, it's like Jesus didn't even know. He's like, you are my son. Not you or me. You are my son. You are someone separate. A whole bunch of times Jesus says, I am the Son of God. I am the Son of Man. I am this, I'm that. It's really narrow for you to try to shove in there that somehow he claims to be God himself. So we've established that. Now, let's establish something else about your God creature. Your God creature knows your heart. Does he not? It knows. It knows. That's why you worship Jesus. It knows. That's why you call Jesus God. It knows. You're not going to be able to fool it, right? It knows your heart. So when you get to heaven or wherever you think you're going, you're going to go, yes, but I worship Jesus. And yeah, but you weren't supposed to. Jesus worshiped God. Paul worshiped Jesus. And you're almost certainly a Paulinian. So, it's interesting. The Son of God is a title, not a literal son. Right. That's the whole thing. We're going to use, of course, it's obviously not the literal son. His father was probably a guy named Pantera, a Roman soldier. We know he's not talking literally the son, but it's clearly not the same person, dude. It's very, very distinctly not the same person. For so many times, every single time Jesus said, I am the Son of Man, or I am the Son of God. Every time he says that, he could have literally said, I am God incarnate, but he didn't. Never does he says, I am the God creature that is everywhere. Never. And you trying to conflate him with God, like I said, you're worshiping the wrong creature. You can lie to me all you want to. You can try to confuse me or try to convince me somehow, but no. You and I, especially if you didn't know before, if you were a Christian before and you didn't realize that was what was going on, but now you do know that's why it is, and you're like, oh shit. That God creature's going to be mad at me. I've been worshiping Jesus all this time. But see, that's the whole thing you don't know, do you? You rolled the dice with Pascal's wager and decided to believe. It was safer to believe instead of not to believe. But now you don't know what to believe. Are you a Jew? Are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? What kind of Christian? Are you an Episcopalian? Are you a Catholic? Methodist? All the rest of them are going to hell. Mary should have swallowed. Let's see. I will tell you, incorrigible, this is very cool. I will not go look up a scripture. Not going to do it. I don't know if you're putting that for somebody else, but if you're putting that for me, I'm not going to do it. You're not going to go, oh, look, this person I've never seen before has posted a couple of scriptures. Let me waste my time and go look those up. I'm not going to do it. If you want to tell us what those are, post them in the chat once. But otherwise, I'm just saying. Billy Billerson, interesting name. Catholic small c and a small p. Had to go there. Christian people reading their representation. Yeah. So again, I just want to point out, not only was I've got this whole thing about how Jesus was not a sacrifice, he didn't have to die for your sins. He said forgiving people's sins was stupid easy. He said it was easy. Jesus says it didn't. Mark. So why did God have to sacrifice his own son? It's all ridiculous. And once you, my Christian friends, start to realize how silly all this stuff is, but that's kind of one of the things I want to talk about. Yes, I was talking about absence of evidence. One of the things is that they didn't write a lot about Jesus. Nobody contemporary wrote about Jesus. Nobody, no guy who worked at the I don't know, the stable or whatever, wherever you worked, wrote down about Jesus. Nobody. Mark says John preached. All the people from the countryside and all the people from Jerusalem went out to watch Mark preach, and where Jesus did. Nobody did this. Nobody wrote it down at all. Nobody wrote it down. And then Jesus goes in town to town to town, and 4 different towns. Everybody from 4 different towns come to see Jesus out preaching and healing people. Nobody writes it down. Jesus is preaching near a body of water. I don't remember the name of the body of water. And he is getting so pressed by people watching him preach and heal people that he's got his disciples got a boat ready right behind him. So in case he needs to skip off. Then later, he's actually in the boat going along and people are following him in boats. According to Mark, a story written by a fan of Jesus 60 to 100 years after Jesus allegedly lived. So according to Mark, Jesus is so popular that all this, but nobody else, there's no stories about fishermen talking about a man coming by healing people, a man in a big boat, man being followed, but nothing. There's nobody, no contemporary, nothing. And that's just those verses. Then also in Mark chapter, let's see what else we found in chapter. Jesus enters Capernaum. Verse 1 says, they heard he had come home. Capernaum? Galilee? Bethlehem? And then it says, the people gathered in such numbers, there was no room left. Verse 2 says, some men came along carrying a paralyzed man, and it was so crowded, they couldn't get through the crowd. So they got on the roof, cut a hole in the roof, and lowered the man through the roof. And at this point, Jesus forgives that man's sins. Verse 5, Jesus forgives the sins of a man simply because he saw the faith of those who brought him in. He doesn't even say the man's faith. It talks about the faith of those who brought him in. He forgives that man's sins. And then he minutes later, heals the guy. But he says it's easier to forgive his sins than it is to heal him. But God required a blood sacrifice, his own child, allegedly, his own son, blood sacrifice himself, or however you want to see it. A blood sacrifice. But Jesus, and you're like, Jesus died for my sins. No, really, he kind of didn't. He kind of didn't. Because they could just forgive those sins. They didn't have to do that. There was nowhere, no big writing official stamp that said this God creature had to demand that. You want to believe Hosa? Oh, Hosa. Good morning, Hosa. Hosa, fosa, fanana, fana, fosa. Let's see. When you say something that isn't the truth, that's a lie. Jesus lied multiple times in the Bible. You know, I would have to say, yeah, probably. I'm just now getting to it, but yeah, probably so. Father Flanagan's flannels. Not a bad one there, Woodson. Woodson, not a bad one. Let's see here. Someone cut my foreskin off. I won't forgive. Richard Trenter, that's right. You know, in the commercial, it's kind of like, you know, not everybody did it on their own. Not everybody was an adult and made that choice. I was never a Jew. My parents were not Jewish. But for some reason, I am lacking foreskin. You know, now there are arguments for hygiene, stuff like that. Given the choice, knowing what I know about it, I would be the way I am. I would be circumcised because there's a whole bunch of trouble that comes up with cleaning and all this business that you know kind of got to go through. Now, but wait, were the ancient Hebrews so wise to know that by circumcising yourself you could remove those potential health problems? No, they actually got it from the ancient Egyptians. It's something they got from the Egyptians when Abram was traveling through Egypt. Not long after leaving Egypt with his sister wife, who he gave to the Pharaoh of Egypt. Not long after that, and we're going to hear the song about that, by the way. We were talking about this. So if you're not familiar with that, Abram, the father of the Abrahamic religion, he went to Egypt, and he was afraid they were going to kill him. So instead of going somewhere else, he decided to continue going to Egypt. And since he thought his wife, who was at least 60 years old, probably closer to 70, desert miles on this woman, I mean, he thought that she was so gorgeous that whenever they entered Egypt, that the Pharaoh of Egypt's men is going to see her and want her. And that's exactly what happened. So he told her to tell them she was his sister, because if she told them she was his wife, the Egyptian people would kill him so the Pharaoh could have his wife. So she said she was his sister. And then he gave her back to Abram and said, why did you not tell me she was your wife? Because remember, he thought, why didn't you not tell me she was your wife? I have gotten a disease. Me and my family have gotten a disease from this woman. So they gave the Pharaoh of Egypt an STD. Abram, the father of the Abrahamic religion, gave his wife to the Pharaoh and claimed she was his sister. And then later in chapter 20 of Genesis, he tries to do it again. This time the king has a dream and he turns the woman away and doesn't want her. But he asks him, he said, why did you tell me she was your sister? And why didn't you tell me she was your wife? Why did you say she was sister? And he says, because she is my sister and my wife. This is the Pharaoh. This is the father of the Abrahamic religion. Shortly after leaving Egypt, whenever his wife gave, allegedly, the Pharaoh of Egypt a sexually transmitted disease, shortly thereafter, Abraham started seeing the Lord in visions and then cut off the end of his penis. Weird, isn't it?
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was a sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Now, if you don't know, you understand why the lady in the image is older, because Sarai was pretty rough. Wait, go read your Bible, my friends. Go read it. She was at least 60 years old when she left their father's house and they traveled the desert for a few years. Then they went to Egypt, and she was so beautiful. The Pharaoh, of all the beautiful young women of Egypt, the Pharaoh wanted this creature, this woman. Really? That makes sense to you? Hose of the Demon says, I'm just a simple demon who thinks we shouldn't be taking in any instructions from 3,000-year-old goat fucker myths. That's poetic. That's like a haiku. I appreciate that. Jack Crawford says, why prove anything to dumbasses? Well, Jack, I don't know which side you're on from that, you know, to be honest. I don't know if you're looking at it going, why try to convince these theists of this nonsense whenever they ain't going to listen, or the same way back Christians. I'm not really sure yet, brother. But my brief answer, sorry, I had it on the floor. But my brief answer is why, if you're talking about why prove anything to these dumbasses as far as why show these Christians how ridiculous their religion is, because I want to pull them away from it. I really do. I want to pull them away from it so they start voting, stop voting. They stop voting Christian. The Christian vote, I mean, they vote to oppress other people. If it weren't for that, if they didn't oppress other people with their bullshit, I would not give a damn. And they could sit there and live in their ignorance all they want to. But instead, they want to force their ignorance on other people. And then all some shitty, pathetic, worthless piece of shit, horrific politician has to do is go, abortion, let's not say, who wants to kill babies? We're not killing babies. And all of a sudden, these Christians are flocking to that sumbitch. Regardless of how disgusting this creature is. He probably has 30 fucking abortions in his history. They don't give a shit about that, though, right? So, Ricky Hayes says, stop, I figured you... Ricky Hayes says, stop, I figured you for an intelligent man. You are not a versed as you claim you are. Rhetorical questions, and then lots of commas. If you let someone talk long enough, period. I agree with you that so-called Christians ignore, I'm sure you're going to say something important. Ricky, thank you for joining us this morning. I really hope English is not your first language. If English is not your first language, man, you're awesome. Thank you. You're doing the best you can. You're wonderful. I appreciate you. If English is your first language, you're the last person that needs to be calling anybody ignorant in that kind of language. I mean, Jesus Christ. Go get a smart person to write this shit down for you. Have them type it in there. Yeah. Toggle pin. Let me see what I screwed up. Let me find out. Let's see if I can read and catch up John Crawford. Even without Christianity, abortion is definitely murder. Okay, so no, it's not. It's definitely not murder. It's not murder. It's not murder at all. It's not. It's not murder. It's not. And unless you're a woman and a doctor, you're probably not supposed to be even talking about it. You should go mind your own business. You should not be putting your opinion on anybody else and whether or not they can have an abortion. You cannot have an abortion if you don't want one. But to be going saying no one else can have one. No. Keep your religious bullshit to yourself. Yeah, so I don't expect that. We have free will. Christianity has produced the most liberal and open free societies anywhere on earth. Those societies became open and free despite Christianity. Despite Christianity. People, how do you guys not know this? I mean, like, how do you not know that Christianity has actually stifled research and stifled free speech? And I mean, it's just crazy how you not know that. It's like the opposite. It's like the opposite is true. You're probably a Trumper too. I wouldn't be surprised if you're a Trumper. Murder, not. Yeah, see, making it in caps doesn't make it any righter. Jack? And see, now most people are actually, to a degree, I mean, I'm not, again, it's not a discussion I should be having. I'm not somebody who's qualified to talk about it, to be fair. Doctors and nurses and women who are educated, or women whose it's their bodies, those are the people who need to be making these decisions. Not you. Fuck you. You don't need to be making those decisions, especially if you're a religious nutbag. No. Fuck that. Carry that shit elsewhere. People, scientists, doctors, women are trying or have been trying or whatever to determine a healthy, respectable places which abortion should not happen and things like that. People are working on that. Not me people. Not you people. Other people who are supposed to be working on that thing should be working on that thing. Not us. We're not qualified to make those decisions. But somebody is out there because you seem to think we're pro-abortion and we're not. We're not. You're pro-birth. Forced birth. You like the forced birth thing. Really pro-birth. And Rick Hales, let's talk. No, let's not. I have a whole video. It's going to drop. I can actually make it drop right after. No, I don't want to. I was going to make it drop right after this one, but that interferes with Ember stuff. But I had a Christian on here who, I mean, I was like, all right, fine, I'll let you come on. You can call. And I finally let him call. And he's going to give us his proof for God. And his proof for Jesus is that some guy told Tacitus about it. And we're like, listen, man, that doesn't count because Tacitus is not contemporary. It's like 60 years. And we argued for all this time. The guy kept trying to get us to accept Tacitus. And then finally I was like, dude, I'm done. And he's like, I got evidence. I'm going to get, I was like, all right, one last chance. Give me your evidence. Does it have anything to do with Tacitus though? Because that doesn't count. Tacitus wasn't even born for 60 years after Jesus was allegedly alive. So it doesn't count. And he goes, no, it doesn't count Tacitus. And he goes, okay, you know this Roman guy? He had this Tacitus. I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done with you. I don't want to go through that with you. I've already been through the whole proof of God remembered my name on your deathbed. Proof of God remember my name on your deathbed. Scott Truth. Isn't it crazy? I love it when you people come in and say things like that. Yeah. Your religion is based on fear, Scott. It's based on fear. Other people have used fear and coercion to control you, Scott, and make you believe these things, and you are afraid. I'm not worried about what's going to happen on my deathbed. And if I actually do meet your God creature and it's that horrific that it's going to burn me for nothing else besides not believing in it, what kind of God would you want to worship? What kind of person are you who would want to worship that kind of God? I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Ooh, it's time. We already did a break. I did a break. Let me get over here. Yeah, but the Christians come in here, the Christians of love and peace and all this business. They come in here and they start with, you're going to burn. You know, oh, I love you, you're fantastic, but you're going to burn like you deserve to burn if you don't change from your ways. It happens a lot. It's all about threats. But my friends, Christians especially, go look in the Old Testament. You will have a hard time finding the God creature of the Old Testament doing anything loving, wise, kind. He never sits down with people and goes, listen, if you will just talk to these people and communicate with them and offer them things, they will allow you to travel through their life. Nothing, never does he do that. It's always violence. Go through there and kill all those people and murder them all. That's the God creature of the Old Testament. That's the God creature of the Old Testament. That's the God creature that you worship. Jesus was the Son of God. Yeah, whatever. Jesus is just like a barman. He just keeps you, he determines whether you go to heaven or hell. That's it. Once you get through Jesus, you go to the God creature. The God creature gets you. It's not like God, the thing from the Old Testament, doesn't exist anymore. It didn't disappear. And it's not a forgiving creature. It's not forgiving at all. So, yeah, if you go look, why is the entire world flocking in droves to migrate to Christian countries? Dude, they're not. They're not. Just say shit like that. You can go look, and societies that embrace science, embrace education, that have better education systems, religion is actually declining in those areas. And in regions where there's a lack of education and a lack of science and lack of those things, religion is on the increase. Don't trust me, my friend. Go look for yourself. Of course, now, if you're going to go to like the Grand Canyon University's website, which is a Christian university, then you're probably going to get some biased information. Go look for some non-Christian, real science evidence. Yeah. You know, all I know about that university is that they're a Christian university. I should say nothing else about them because I don't know what they teach over there. For all I know, they teach everything wonderful. I have no idea. North Korea is secular. Let's move there. Heaven is like North Korea, isn't it? Where you got one leader, God, and what he says is all authority everywhere, no matter what. His word is the final word, no matter what. They are all slaves to Kim Jong-un. In heaven, you are all slaves to God. The similarity is fantastic. Christopher Hitchens used to talk about it all the time. Talk about how heaven is essentially like the celestial North Korea. Really, you have to worship. If you don't worship, you're punished. You die. You're all this other stuff. But the difference between North Korea and the God creature in the Bible is you can die and escape from North Korea, but you can't die and escape from this God creature. So you actually go on with a secular thing, trying to throw that at us. Really, kind of isn't that smart, was it? It really wasn't that smart, was it? Secularists actually believe people are equal. They want people to be treated equally, equal rights, stuff like that. If you think that is what you get from, now you're talking secular, that's just secular. But my friend, it's not secular. Jordan Harris, it's not secular. Who is the president of North Korea? Well, I don't remember their names, but the person who actually is the real leader of North Korea is dead. And they worship him as a god. They're worshipped as gods over there. He's dead. He allegedly still... let's see. How do they do it? Let's see. I don't know how to phrase that to put that in there. It's kind of... But yeah, look it up for yourself. Go look it up. Somebody in the chat will help me out. In North Korea, it's not Kim Jong-un. I think it's Kim Jong-il who is the father who rules from above, and Kim Jong-un is the one who is the one on the land. But regardless, go look for yourself. But you are not open to a conversation that allows all parties to express their thoughts, feelings, beliefs without interruption. What, we have to be that way and you can't? I mean, you don't have to be that way? Your side has just stifled people's voices for years. It's not secular people who were burning witches. didn't actually burn them, but you know what I mean. It was religious people who did that. It wasn't secular people who did the Spanish Inquisition. That was Christians. So, yeah. Remember earlier whenever I said the more you speak, the more you expose your ignorance? Yeah. Carry on, dude. Carry on. What do you think someone created universe? No. Thank you for playing. Tucson. All right, let me just ask you this one question. What's your person name? What's your name, individual? Kim Il-sung, thank you. Kim Il-sung is the actual leader, and he's been dead for a long time. So they are not secular. You are wrong. Go learn something. Let me ask you, would you care to apologize? I figure you probably wouldn't. Let's see. Somebody said something. I want to read it here. Yep. I saw something I wanted to read. Oh, yeah. Do you think someone... Drake Monster. Yes, by the way. Good morning, Drake Monster. Who created God? If someone had to create the universe, someone had to create God. If everything has to have a beginning, God has to have a beginning. You can't say your God creature doesn't have a beginning. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. We got about 10 minutes. Let's talk about this for just a second. You don't have a side. You're a fucking liar. You're just a liar. Now, well, Christian, never mind. Oh, man, I was on a rant. Oh, the creator of the universe. Okay, so here we got the universe, right? Here's the universe. Now, day one, the universe is not there. It's not there. God is there. God is there. The universe is not there. And at some point, God has to say in his own universe, he has to say, you know what? I'm going to create this universe. There was a before he did it, and then probably there'll be an after he did it. After this universe dies, God will still be here, right? So God lives in his own time frame. Has to. If you're going to go that way. If you're going to say God is outside our time, that's fine. That means it doesn't exist, but outside of our time and space. But that's fine. You just gotta have to know that even in its own time, it has to have a beginning. It's in its own time. There was a time before it decided to create the universe. Like last Thursday, it was off golfing, and then it was like, fuck, I think I'm gonna create the universe. It has to have a time frame of its own. You can't just say it magically appeared out of nothing and created the universe instantly. It's all happened just at once. You just can't. So where did your God come from? No. How do I think the universe? Oh, that's a great question, Drake Monster. You know, Drake Monster says, I didn't say God was creating the universe. I said, how do you think the universe was formed? That's a great question. Here's my thoughts. I've been enjoying this one lately. I really liking this theory that our entire universe is inside a black hole. And you're like, what? A black hole? Yeah. Imagine like in our universe, like our universe, there's a black hole over there. Imagine inside that black hole is a universe, a whole universe, just like ours. Okay. Now, whenever matter goes into a black hole, it can never escape the black hole. It goes into the black hole and it just gets ripped out and is turned completely into base energy. On our side, anywhere where there's not space, there's this, what do they call it? Foam, this foam energy. So if you take all the air out of this box here, took all the air out of everything, every particle, everything, nothing, not an electron, nothing. Well, there's this background foam where things just start coming, elements just start coming in, material comes in. I can't remember foam background kind of stuff. It just comes in its basic absolute form, as it would if it had fallen into a black hole. Now, our universe is expanding like a black hole would. Now, it's big to us, but to the outside world, it may not be all that big at all. So that's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what started our universe. I don't think a person or an entity, creature started our universe. But I would rely on science. That is my fun thinking. Recently, this has been a recent theory about we're inside a black hole. I think they call it a black hole bounce or something like that. We're inside a black hole. Our entire universe is inside a black hole. And I think that's a fun one. Quantum foam. Thank you, Jixie. Quantum foam, exactly correct. Yes. You blast Christianity, and that's your belief. Good luck. Kif, in their efforts to make God unfalsifiable and put him beyond scientific inquiry, theologians have essentially defined him completely out of existence. That is exactly right. Quantum foam, Acme also said that. Quantum foam. That's right, Kif. I've been saying that for a while now. Now they've got, in our science, evolution kind of tells us a lot of things. How we know we've got billions of pieces of evidence in museums all over the world. We know macroevolution, microevolution. We got it. We got all the evolution part down. Abiogenesis, we're just like that close scientifically to demonstrating proteins coming from molecules, base carbon molecules. We're that close. But a lot of these Christians come in and are like, you can't prove abiogenesis. They ain't done that yet. That's where God is. Because you can't prove that, it means there's God. And then, of course, behind the Big Bang, right? Behind the Big Bang and behind abiogenesis. I tell you, my friends, my Christian friends out there who are lean on that abiogenesis thing, that life cannot come from non-life, we're very close to proving it can. You should go watch Forrest Valkai. He's got videos that talk about it and talk about how life, non-life actually is turned into life. You should go find things out. But once you do, just remember, your God dies there. It dies there. Whenever we scientifically go, okay, we got to do this, and we can replicate. Oh, yeah, and look, the Earth had those right conditions 4 billion years ago. Where's your little God go then? He runs scared, fleeing behind the Big Bang. Where did the universe come from then? That's the only place your little God creature is going to live. The universe's expansion is slowing down. I had not heard that. I thought the universe's expansion was increasing. In fact, the universe is increasing, growing so fast that there are parts of the universe that are on the other side of us that are moving away from us faster than the speed of light. The universe is currently increasing in size, and its expansion is accelerating. Galaxies are moving away from each other at faster speeds over time due to a phenomenon known as dark energy. So let me see who that was, that Nobel laureate who put that in there about the universe getting smaller. I picked up some quantum foam. The rate of acceleration is slowing. Cockblocker, it says it's increasing. It's actually accelerating. Yeah, that's what it says. It's science people. They know, I don't know. I want to see though where it said that one thing. The universe expansion is slowing down. Richard Tranter. Oh, okay, yeah, Tranter. That's almost like Trantor from Foundation series. Kif, all beyond this time and space stuff is just not. Yeah, that's right. That's where their God lives, is all beyond this. But then again, man, anytime you say the universe has to have a beginning, well, if it doesn't, if their God creature doesn't have to have a beginning, why can't the universe not have to have a beginning? Why can't the Big Bang, where some thing just started right there, and in their thinking, though, apparently, there was a universe that instantly popped into existence, and a fully formed God creature that knew everything was there. And then it created our universe inside its world. And it doesn't have a creator. It's always been there. So I don't know how the fuck the universe. I don't know. It depends on which data set you're looking at. There you go. Well, either way, it is expanding. Whether the expanding, I always thought it was accelerating. And the whole thing about galaxies moving away from us faster than the speed of light is a thing. Faster than light. Yup. Yes, indeed. Yep. Because of the expansion rate of space-time. Right. So that's interesting stuff. Let me do this thing. Yep, they're just carving out new gaps to stick their God. Exactly. I wouldn't give a shit if they didn't force their God on everybody else. Big Bang states everything from nothing, time, space, and matter all at the same time. in a way, there's a couple of theories. In quantum mechanics has actually a very interesting theory about how everything could have. Sometimes there's effect before cause in quantum mechanics. Anyway, go look that up. It's interesting stuff. Big Bang states everything from nothing, time, space, and matter all at the same time. That's what the Big Bang says. Not you, but theists have to go one step further. They have to have a universe where all time and space and matter within that universe came into existence, and then a God creature came into that universe, and then that God creature created our universe. Because you can't have it where God is outside of our universe and not be within its own realm. And if it's in its own realm and it has a before now and an after now, then it has to have a beginning. Interesting stuff. Fun for the whole family. Oh, I think I may have seen. Oh, Kelly Shearer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Just because she said, I'm sorry I missed that, Kelly. We've got a new member to our channel, Garland. Thank you for that. Ron. Thank you for also becoming a new member. A new subscriber, X before Y and Z. And then we got a super chat from Collapsalism saying, good morning, have fun. Christians still haven't provided evidence from Collapsalism. Thank you for that, guys. You guys, y'all have been a lot of fun. I appreciate you, all of you. It's Friday. I won't see you again till Monday. But, I don't know about you, other people out there. I'm a person who has conviction in what I do, but not always faith in myself. Faith is a bad word. Not always confidence in myself. Okay. So I believe in my mission. I believe, but I don't always have. But whenever I sit here and I realize I'm talking to 65, 70 people, 100 people, we had 100 people in there the other day. I show up here at the show and I'm watching the show and there's like 16 people between the two different streams waiting to watch. And you guys are awesome. I very much appreciate you. Okay, we're going to end the show. And when I do, with the end credits is the Goat Scented Flesh Candle song. So if you're into that, everybody have a safe weekend. Sin safely, my friends. Sin safely. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Confession booth, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the goat in a holy zone. Father Flanagan, here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goat's the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace. From your living room to the kitchen sink, light the goat candle, don't even think.